This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Shanta. Shanta is an entertainer, but she also loves to be entertained, which is why she has Flow TV brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It's great for busy Shanta because she can control the time she watches her favorite shows, play back from the start in case she missed it, or even record with cloud video recording. And with her Flow services bundle, enjoys much more for much less. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
Welcome to this Barbados Today News Update for Thursday, October 6th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Desmond Brown. A retired professor of economics has described the current economic development challenges facing Barbados as worrisome. Former professor and pro-vice chancellor of planning and development at the University of the West Indies, Andrew Downs, says it is critical that a number of areas are addressed if the island is to experience economic and social growth over the next 50 years.
These are the important institutional elements. These are like the beds that from which all of these economic things work. Because if you don't have these, it's like say going to work somewhere and you have a poor working environment. The light's not working, they're going to flicker it off. That environment doesn't, although you want it to not. So these factors have provided the transparency and certainty for economic transactions. They lower transactions costs and allow us to move forward.
Downs was delivering the 5th lecture in a Democratic Labour Party lecture series last night. Opposition leader Mia Mottley wants Barbados' procurement legislation amended to ensure that district tradesmen get priority when government offers contracts.
We have made the point that one of the biggest problems facing this country is the consolidation of contracts and wealth in the hands of too few. We also believe that we need to amend the procurement legislation that governs how government issues contracts, and to say that contracts under, say, $250,000, that geographical origin of the tenderer should be a relevant consideration, so you don't bring people from St. Michael to St. Lucie, St. Philip to St. James to do small contracts.
Ms. Mottley, who was addressing a People's Assembly meeting organized by her Barbados Labour Party at the Frederick Smith Secondary School last night, also attacked government for not delivering on its 2008 promise to allocate 40% of its purchases to the small business sector.
This government came in on a platform that 40% of contracts would go to small business people. It has not materialized. And part of the difficulty that we have is that there is an insensitivity to the need for creating opportunities for small businessmen selling goods and services in this country, both to the government and to the private sector, particularly within the tourism sector, which obviously has a high use of turnover, a high turnover of items within the hotel plant, etc.
Opposition Member of Parliament Cynthia Ford is crying out for justice for tourism industry workers who she said suffered deductions in their wages because they obeyed the national shutdown order and remained at home during the passage of Tropical Storm Matthew. Ford, the MP for St. Thomas, made the appeal last night at a People's Assembly meeting organized by the Barbados Labour Party at the Frederick Smith Secondary School.
I have a difficulty when we were told last week persons should stay at home because of the tropical storm threat. And then when some of them from some hotels and some other businesses stayed at home because there was no transportation. We do not know if utility poles have fallen and wires were there to electrocute people and all that. Some of their salaries were docked on the weekend because they did not come to work. Those are the issues that I believe are interfering with the good governance and the good tripartite system that we have developed in Barbados, so that workers, the government, as well as the businesses can plan purposefully to make a difference in this country.
Police have arrested and formally charged 24-year-old Akeem Dave Mason of No. 2 Blades Hill, St. Philip, for the murder of 42-year-old Michael MacDonald, Mapp, of the same address. Mapp, who was the subject of a missing person bulletin after he was last seen alive on May 18, 2016, was discovered dead in a shallow grave at Fortescue, St. Philip, on May 24 this year. Mason, also known as Zonzi or Killer Bean, is expected to appear in the District C Magistrates Court today.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only 225, 220. Who? For what? That's the Bear Stare News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only care do. 220. Who?
It's a vision whose time has come. This November 29th, Digicel, Barbados is Music presents the most explosive array of titans to share Barbadian stage. Crossfire, Coalition, and Square One will descend upon Kensington Oval for the independent show that will be talked about for the next 50 years. Get your $80 tickets at all advertised box offices. New Look Boutique, Digicel Store DeCosta Mall, Praxis Clothing Store, Play Deli, ENV Music Supply Sheraton, Emerald City, Rubis Realty, Eddie's Fights Down, Upbeat Warrens and Sky Mall, and Ticketpal.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Barbados' Music or call 832-0246 for more information. Digicel, Barbados is Music is sponsored by Remy Martin 1738, Douglas Hill Wines 98.1, The One, Banks, and Digicel.
In regional news, new images show the extent of devastation caused by Hurricane Matthew in Haiti, with one town virtually wiped out and at least 23 people dead. The death toll is expected to rise amid concern over an area in the southwest, which remains largely cut off. Images of the southwest coastal town of Jeremy shows flattened houses with food and medical facilities badly hit.
Finally, 2 days after the hurricane hit Haiti, the scale of destruction can now be seen as emergency teams try to reach the areas in the south and west where people have lost everything. This was a town called Jeremy, the hurricane ripping roofs off houses and flattening others. People now forced to sleep and eat outside. Antoine Louis is a farmer. He says they've now lost all the food in their house. They have nothing to cook, and they're starving. Medical facilities like this maternity hospital have also been damaged in the huge downpours of rain. Across this impoverished island, it's estimated 350,000 people now need help.
On the international scene, Hurricane Matthew is battering the Bahamas right now, but its next stop could be the United States. More from CNN.
Everyone along that Atlantic beach area will be scoured with this wind. There can't be anyone in a mobile home at all anywhere within, I would say, 10 miles of the ocean, because nothing will be there with some of these storms if you get that direct hit. Some buildings will be stronger than others. There will be power outages for days, maybe weeks. There will be so many people without power. There's no reason to stay there. If you can grab a car, grab a ride from someone else to get on the other side of the state to find a friend or a hotel or even a school over there on the west side. They're going to start to open some shelters on the other side of the state to get people that are trying to get away from this storm out of there. But here you go. This is Friday afternoon. It is now pounding St. Augustine and Jacksonville, and eventually will even pound Charleston as the day goes on. A lesser storm, sure, 100 miles per hour, but still enough. I mean, that's still equal to an EF1 tornado all the way up the East Coast.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Desmond Brown.